Good morning from the Water Utilization Learning Center in Gothenburg, Nebraska. I'm out here with Casey Sutton, who's actually doing some trapping for us. And so, Casey, kind of what are we doing here with these traps?
Yeah, hi there. So we are checking for corn rootworm beetle presence, and we're using these non-baited sticky traps to do so. You can see we're trapping additional insects in addition to the corn rootworm beetle. Predominant species we see out here is the western corn rootworm beetle. And so I'm going to pull the trap and we're going to take a look at it outside of the fields. So I've removed the non-baited trap from the corn plant that has been the site of monitoring for the past approximate 7 to 8 days. So with that, we're going to take a look at some of the insects that have been trapped.
Okay, well, so what do we have here on the trap?
So we're seeing quite a few corn rootworm beetles. Here we have a female, and she's actually gravid. In other words, she's pregnant. And we can tell.
And so how can we tell that?
Yeah, so we can tell she's pregnant or gravid because she has that yellow abdomen that's quite a bit more swollen compared to the non-gravid. Let's see here, we have a non-gravid here. You see the underside, not nearly as swollen. And right here we actually have a male corn rootworm beetle. You can tell as he has the darker markings on covers, whereas the female has the yellow and brown striping patterns on the wing covers. So we're seeing several gravid females. This time of year it is not uncommon to see a lot of pregnant beetles out there. This is the peak time for mating and egg laying. So what comes into play there and is important to realize is, especially where we have areas that have high pressure for the corn rootworm beetle, those acres that are planted to corn on corn, there's going to be high pressure for the corn rootworm beetle. The females will lay their eggs in the soil and then hatch the next year. And so with that, the larva will feed on the corn roots and cause some potential damage to the plant. In addition to that, the beetles themselves clip the silks of the corn plants, which is problematic because that can inhibit the proliferation of the pollination process for the corn, and you just won't have as great a yield potential with the silk clipping.
So we're making some comparisons out here in this study area between different trait packages, and then also what else is this potential information going to be used for?
Yeah, so this monitoring effort is really helpful in determining what trait packages are going to be of the greatest utility to the grower. So with that, we have really great trait packages that offer terrific below and above ground protection. So for the below ground protection, we have the Smart Stacks trait package, which is a double event, so 2 events with that trait, as well as the above ground protection with our new Tricepta trait offering.
Okay, so we see one trying to get away here. So how many times do you go through there and monitor these traps?
So I have been monitoring since the beginning of August, and I will continue this effort until about mid-September. And I have seen some fluctuations with increased and decreased numbers on these traps. I've noticed that when we have cooler temperatures, as we're experiencing today, there are fewer corn rootworm beetles on those traps. For example, last week my average count for each trap was 17 beetles. A week prior, we had a little bit more cool and timely rains, so I had an average of about 11 beetles per trap. So there is a fluctuation depending on temperatures.
Okay. All right. Well, we thank you for showing some of the trapping that you've been doing over the summer, and we will talk to you in the future about other agronomic topics from the Learning Center. Thank you.